Hey guys, it's Sam, and this is my spoiler-free review of Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I received this arc at BEA this year, and this book is released on the 29th of September. Six of Crows is the first book in a new duology which takes place in Leigh Bardugo's Grishaverse, which is the same universe that the Grisha trilogy takes place in, and it takes place with a whole new set of characters in a whole new area with whole new problems. This takes place following the events of the Grisha trilogy, and it follows 6 brand new characters who are on an impossible heist. They've been hired by an organization to commit this impossible heist, and we follow their journey. That is all I'm going to say about the synopsis because that's all you really need to know. This is a heist story at its best. If you enjoy Ocean's 11, if you enjoy Mistborn, if you enjoy any of those kinds of heist stories with criminal characters and a whole cast of characters, then I think you'll really enjoy this. Before we get going, a lot of people have asked me if they can read this before the Grisha trilogy. I would recommend that you not. If you can read the Grisha trilogy, and it is something that is on your TBR, that I'd recommend reading the Grisha trilogy first. You will get a lot more out of this book if you read the Grisha trilogy. No, there are not the characters from the Grisha trilogy in this book, but they are mentioned. There are references to certain people, there's references to certain events, and you'll get a ton more out of it if you read the Grisha trilogy first. Since these events are taking place after the Grisha trilogy, you're seeing kind of the aftermath of that, and you won't have that background if you go into Six of Crows first. Technically, yes, you can read it first, but I highly recommend that you read the Grisha trilogy first. So first, let me talk about the world building. I adored the world building in this story. I love Leigh Bardugo's world building. I think she is excellent at it, and this really opens up the world that we got in the Grisha trilogy to be even larger. We see so many different places, so many different kinds of people, and what is going on besides just with the Grisha people, and it is amazing. I am so excited to be experiencing different places on the beautiful map that we have in this entire world. I enjoyed learning about all the other different customs and the different people and their different interactions and everything that's been going on behind the scenes while we were seeing everything happening in the Grisha trilogy. Next, let me talk about the characters. The characters in here do not disappoint. They are amazing. Within the first 20 pages, I was in love with all of them. As soon as they're all introduced, I felt for them, I felt for their stories, and I want to know more about them. This is a multiple POV book. I think we actually get 5 perspectives out of the 6 people that we follow, and I enjoyed every single one of them. I didn't find any of them boring. They switch around enough that you don't get bored, and most of the time they are together, so it's not like you're waiting to get back to a certain plot point. They're all kind of experiencing the same kinds of things, but you're just getting all their different perspectives, and that is a really interesting element. I liked all of them. They all had a unique voice, and I want to know more about every single one. First, we have Kaz, and he is kind of the leader of this group. He is pretty much a criminal mastermind in a lot of ways. He is young, but it makes sense why he is the way that he is and why he does know so much and why he is so clever. He is an incredible character. He is so intelligent, and he is always a step ahead of the game, and I do not know how he does it, but I am floored by him. I'm also floored by his character development and just his complexity. You could have a character like this be very unbelievable in a way, and for him to be so believable and so real, and for all of his motivations to make sense to me, that really speaks a ton to how incredible the writing is in this book. I absolutely loved him, and he was an incredibly convincing character. Then we have Inej, who is known as the Wraith. She is basically the character who can slip in and out of situations. She is very stealthy. She can kind of like stalk situations. She's an incredible thief. She can get in any kind of building. She can climb walls. She is incredibly talented, and she doesn't have any kind of magical abilities or anything, so it makes it even cooler. She is, again, an incredibly complex character. The backstory for her is incredibly heartbreaking, and I enjoyed her so much. As soon as we had her nickname of the Wraith popping up, I knew I loved her. She might be my favorite character in the whole book. Again, it's really hard to choose favorites. I'll probably say that all of them are my favorite characters, but I absolutely love her as a character. She is complex and real, and I feel for her story, and I believe how talented she is, and I cannot wait to see more of her. Then we have Nita, who is a Grisha, and she has certain abilities that she can lend to the group. I also enjoyed her. She's a very spunky character. Again, she also has an interesting backstory. All of the characters here have interesting backstories. They are all morally gray characters, which makes me love them, obviously. And she has also a very complicated love interest, which pulls on my heartstrings in so many ways, and I absolutely loved her as a character. She is, again, one of my top favorite characters. Again, I like all of them, but I think she is part of the top 3 for sure. Then we have Mathias, who is actually kind of on a quest for revenge in a way against one of our other characters in the group, and he is another interesting character who's from an area that we heard about briefly in the Grisha trilogy, but that we never really got to see, and I enjoyed seeing more of that culture through him. And he is a very conflicted character. He has a lot going on, and he's not really sure where he personally sits with a lot of it. So he is a very interesting character to bring into the fold of these criminals. Then we have Jesper, who is a sharpshooter, and he is from another area of the map that we didn't get to see a lot of in the Grisham trilogy, and he's an interesting character. He dresses really sharp, he is a gambler, and he gets himself in a lot of trouble, but he is definitely the comedic portion of the group. All the characters are funny in their own way, but he's definitely the one with the one-liners, and he has also another very interesting backstory. Then we have Wylan, who is a runaway and recently got involved with this group of people, and he is kind of like a precious cinnamon bun, and he brings another interesting element to the backstory of this group. So overall, as I've said multiple times, I enjoyed all of the characters. I find all of them complex and rich, and their backstories are interspersed throughout the story, so nothing is really info dumped with all these people. A lot of them have pre-existing connections with each other, but that information isn't dumped on you instantly. You get it throughout the story. It's kind of all dragged out in a wonderful way. The pacing for it is brilliant, and I enjoyed learning about them throughout the story and can't wait to get back to them. As far as the plot, this plot was incredibly clever. I was kept guessing the entire time. I never knew what was going to happen next. I could never guess anything. I didn't know what was going to happen. I was always on the edge of my seat. They're basically in danger almost the entire book. And when you are really attached to the characters in this kind of situation, it's really hard to read about them in peril constantly, and that's exactly how they were, and it was just an interesting story how Leigh Bardugo weaved everything. She had to have an amazing outline for this book because of how everything weaves together, and these little things that are dropped in that aren't obvious, and then you pick up on it later and you're like, oh wait, it is amazing. It was amazingly done, and the pacing was excellent, and it left off on a note where I just need to have the next book immediately. I also am so sad that we were only getting 2 books for this series. I would love to have a trilogy, a 6-book series, a 10-book series. I love these characters so much, and I cannot wait for the second book. Obviously, I gave 6 of Crows 5 out of 5 stars. So comment down below and let me know if you have read 6 of Crows yet and what you thought of it, or if you plan on reading it. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye!